Hello, welcome to ellieV Toys. Have you seen the new Harry Potter Lego? I have built the Hogwarts Great Hall. If you haven't seen the video, make sure you check it out. And I'm busy building the Whomping Willow. But before I do that, I want to do a bit of a DIY. I was going to do this later, but I just couldn't help myself because these little dudes in minifigure form are fine, but dang it, I want them as mini dolls, and Lego's never going to release them as mini dolls, so I just had to make them. So I've been busily painting, and I have painted some Hogwarts uniforms for, well, we're going to start with Hermione. So we've got appropriate socks and shirts and everything in different shades of grey, and really the colour is their tie, so their house tie, and I wanted to make this basic uniform body as versatile as possible. So instead of painting it on there, I made some ties out of polymer clay. And here, look, here's one in the Gryffindor colours. I'll show you later in the video how to make these. So they're fiddly, but they're not hard. And this way we can just paint one body and we can use that for a whole heap of different characters if we want to. So here we've got Hermione's head. We're going to use this head as Hermione's head because it's got brown eyes, and we're going to pinch this hair from the minifigure because it's perfect for Hermione. It's not quite perfect for a mini doll because the fringe could do with being a bit longer, and so could the hair. Everything needs to just be a little bit longer, I think. But it's just such good Hermione hair. So there we go. We have got a Hermione figure in mini dolls, and I can't tell you how happy that makes me. Let's try out Harry. Now, I found some boy pants which were an appropriate colour, which would work for the Hogwarts uniform. And I painted him a torso. And instead of making him a tie, I made him a scarf in Gryffindor colours. This was surprisingly easy. I just kind of had to drape it around his shoulders to get the shape. So a scarf for a mini doll, and painting the glasses was one of the hardest things I've ever done, and I know they're not round, but have you ever tried to make round symmetrical things on a contoured face? It was really hard. So this was as good as it got, and I'm really happy with that. I painted his little scar up there too. So Harry is now a mini doll. You can stand up here with Hermione. I think he looks really cute. Now, speaking of cute, we have got Ron. So Ron is a mini doll. We've got some more of these pants, which are now the Hogwarts uniform pants. And I painted him also a torso, but I also made him a cape. And a cloak. And I will show you how I made this. I'm not 100% happy with it yet, but I'm 90% happy with it. We'll put a tie on there too. And we need a little Ron face, and none of the boy faces actually have freckles. So I painted some freckles on for him. Aww. And we'll see what the Ron minifigure hair looks like on my Ron mini doll. Actually makes him look really kind of anime character-y style. So it's cute. They just look adorable as mini dolls. But I especially love Hermione, and I always knew that was going to happen. But I do think they turned out really well. So let's make a tie. And because I was mean to Slytherin in my last video, let's make a Slytherin coloured tie today. And so we're going to need green, and it has white stripes on it as well. So all we really need is polymer clay, and we need a rolling surface. And this little pink measure over here is how long I want to make the tie. So it's actually 1 centimeter or 10 millimeters because we don't want it any longer, otherwise it'll look weird and it'll like go right down their legs, and we don't want it any shorter because short ties tend to look weird too. So I'm going to first up make the white, which is going to be the thinner stripes, which means I need to squeeze out here a really thin coil of white, and I'm starting with the white because white gets dirty so quickly. So the minute I touch the green will be on everything. So little skinny coil there of white, and I'm trying to make it even skinnier just by rolling it really gently along here. And this is why I like working with polymer clay, is because it's quite strong. With air drying clay, it tends to tear and is quite soft. It's harder to work with, especially when you're making tiny things like this. So now we need some green. We need a nice big green snake, which is appropriate because it's Slytherin. So, but we do have to make snake shapes to make all of the house color ties. But look, a green Slytherin snake. We want to make this maybe 3 times as thick as the white one, but it doesn't really matter. You just kind of want more green than white in your stripes down the tie. And this, of course, currently is so much longer than we're going to need it, but this way we can actually choose a section. Now, we're going to use these other little offcuts in a moment. So this is what we've got. We're going to put these side by side, and then, hold on. And then we're going to twist them till we've got a really nice twisty pattern. Because the tie is only going to be 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter in length, we're going to need the twists to be quite tight. So we just twist, twist, twist. And I've made it so long because I can actually then choose the best part of the length to decide that part's going to be my tie. So I've got lots here to play with. And then I can make more ties out of what's left over. So I think that might be tight enough. I've left some a little looser than others. Now we need to squish it down flattish. We don't want to make it too thin, otherwise it's going to be really hard to work with. But we're making it thin enough so it's proportionally okay on a mini doll. A little flat, squishy, spirally snake. There, I think that's squishy. Now, which part looks the best? Let me see. I like this bit in the middle. So let's section this up, and I'll make it a little bit longer than I need because I can always cut more off, and it's very difficult to add longer things, add more to make it longer. So we'll gently move these over here because I can make more ties out of these later. So a teeny tiny length here of tie. At the top is obviously going to be where it connects at the neck, and I'm going to just kind of squish that in because where a tie is at the top is squished in, and we're going to make a little diamondy pointy shape on the bottom so it does look like the bottom of a tie. And that's pretty good. And that bit that we just cut off, we're actually going to roll that into a gentle little ball and then squish it between my fingers into a triangle. So flatten it out and then squish it. And that's going to be the little knot at the top of the tie. It's so teeny tiny. There, and there's a little bit of grub on it. I wonder if I can get that little black bit of blur off. Oh, I can, good. Sometimes it's a lot harder than that. Okay, so we have the tie part. Now we need, obviously, to have something around the neck to attach it to. So we're going to use some of our other green snake that we cut off before, and we're going to make it just a little bit thinner because we don't want it too thick around the neck. And then let's go and measure this out on a mini doll. We'll just pick that up first, get it ready. We'll go and lay it all out on a mini doll before we bake it. So you don't want to be doing this on your freshly painted mini dolls. Use one that you aren't really too fond of as your stunt practice doll that you don't mind getting a bit grubby. And we're going to just take it into a V around here at the neck and cut that off. And then we'll just we can squish that in. But we don't really need to squish it because when we put the tie bit on, we're gonna squish it on as well because we want all of these to be connected really well. So let's delicately place this right here on the front, and ta-da! We've got a Slytherin tie. It's cutie patootie. I'm just gonna squish this on just a little bit more. Make sure it's all connected really well. And then we need to take it off because I don't really want to put this particular mini doll into the oven because I have got my baking mini doll, which I'll put this on. And then I'll put it into the toaster oven. So to keep its shape, I have actually got this poor girl. She has been in the oven more times than I can count. But with the foil over her, it means that it's not going to stick. The polymer clay is not going to stick while it bakes, and it'll just come nice and smoothly off again. And it will hold the form perfectly, so you'll get a lovely, lovely shape, a removable tie that you can use over and over and over again. I'll just make sure it's quite flat behind it because we want the tie to sit flat down along the chest too. Good, all right, let's take that off to bake it. Now, if you don't want to sacrifice one of your valuable mini dolls, you just make a little pointy bit out of alfoil and you just need to, that's it, that's all you need to do. So there you go. Now, while that's baking, we're gonna make the cape. I have been working with some, not stiffeners, but things to make the fabric not fray on the ends. So this one is currently been soaked in gelatin and it kind of feels like paper. So it's made it kind of a bit crispy. Here is the pattern that I have spent many, many hours putting together to make the perfect cape for the Harry Potter uniform for a witch or a wizard. And the little flaps over the top, let me show you on a mini doll how it, well, kind of, it's too crispy, but let me show you. I wanted the flaps because it just kind of looks funny with the arms sticking out there because they're the wrong color. So the flaps are supposed to be the arms of their cloak. And it kind of works, but it's just a bit too crispy. So I don't know what I can do. I need to find a softer, more floppy material that then won't fray once I cut it, but I've yet to do that. So for now we're using this. So I have got a 2B pencil, and you can use any pencil you like, but any of the ones with the B on them means that the lead is softer and it's much, much easier to draw on something like the material. And when you're using black material, it's really hard to see the lines, so a lead pencil is the best way to go. And I'm actually only going to mark out half of this because it's perfectly symmetrical. So we are going to use the axis of symmetry down the middle after we've done one half and fold it. I might just rule a line though because I'm not very good at finding the axis of symmetry. So let's see. There we go. So if I fold it along the line, it means I can cut out both sides at once and I can have a perfectly symmetrical cloak. Lovely. Where are my scissors? Let's go. Let's snippety snip snip. There, and cutting out the armholes, there's a little bit down here that I didn't quite get. Cutting out the armholes can be a bit of a trial, but if you actually, did you see how I've marked it in the middle? I've marked in the middle of the armhole. I want to actually fold it down again, and that way I will get two sides, hopefully, that are completely even, except I forgot to mark the other armhole. Oh, I'm a ning-nong. Okay, oh, I might just need to mark in that other armhole. I'm going to kind of eyeball it, which is never a great idea, but hopefully it'll turn out okay. So there we go, two armholes. So we're going to cut these out, and because I have marked it out in the middle, or folded across the middle, hopefully they'll come out reasonably tidy and symmetrical. But it is really hard to cut out armholes and head holes. Oh, I've done a bit of a mess on one side, but it will do. And you need to cut down the middle so that there's give in the back, so you can actually put the arms on. You'll see in a moment. Now, if you fold it down here, and we can make a crease here. Actually, we might do it the other way so that the pencil mark's on the inside of the cloak. So if you fold them down, just inside the edge, then you've got little kind of cloak arm looking things. And because otherwise they're going to flap around, we're going to put just a little dab of glue here in the front of the armhole, just on the side of the front of the armhole. And that way we can still access the armhole. I said armhole too many times, I think I might have. But it means that arm, what do you call it? The arms of the robe aren't going to flap up. They'll sit down where you want them to, hopefully. If I really should just give it a stitch. I think it would look better stitched down on the front, just that top little bit of it, but I'm using glue because I'm a bit lazy today. So let's try this out. Now that it's dry, let's put this onto Hermione and see whether we can now add a cloak to her ensemble. So these little coat patterns, see how you need that split in the middle, otherwise you just can't get two arms on. You'd end up ripping the armholes open. And I would love it to sit a little bit further forward, and I just think I need a softer material for that. I'll keep working on it. It's a work in progress, but it looks pretty good as it is. And her hair is even going to hold it on a bit too, I think. If it were a bit longer, her hair would actually hold the front of that cloak on really, really well. And I've made the arms just a little bit long. I don't know how I did that. So we'll just snip them off. And if I get really clever and figure out how to put this pattern on the net, I will put the pattern for the cloak onto my website. I'll let you know when I do that so that you can go and download it so you can make your own Hogwarts uniform robes. How cool would that be? Now, our tie is back from the oven and it is beautifully toasted, and Slytherin now has got its own colours. Now, who's going to try this out? Harry. This is controversial. Harry could have been in either Slytherin or Gryffindor. Let's see how he looks in a Slytherin tie. Oh, he still looks happy. It's quite bright and cheerful. Ooh, Harry, you're now a Slytherin. Oh, no, I can't stand that. Come on, we'll take that off again. We'll put back on your Gryffindor Scarf. Whew, that's better. The world order has been righted again. But who's going to wear this tie? This is the question. I haven't made Malfoy yet, but I will. I will make Malfoy. But maybe one of the Lego Friends girls, because I just couldn't help myself. They all wanted to go to Hogwarts. They've all got their Hogwarts letters. I've painted them all Hogwarts uniforms, so they are ready. But you know, oh, I forgot to show you. Thank you for your comments in the last video. This is how you use the ball joint at the bottom of the wand. It's very simple. I knew it would be something really simple. You just put it in their hands and then you tilt it down. You don't try and shove it in by the ball like I was doing. But, Emma is going to see whether she might be Slytherin. Oh, I can't do it. No, she is Ravenclaw. I mean, there's no way. Oh, no, she's not actually. I don't know. Maybe she'd be Hufflepuff. I can't decide. No, actually, I think maybe she could try out Slytherin for size. What do you think? And maybe Mia would have to be Hufflepuff, right? Now, you know what? We are going to have a special sorting ceremony. We're going to get the sorting hat out, and the Lego Friends girls are all going to get chosen into their houses or sorted into their houses. But I want you all to comment on where you think they belong. Which house does each of these girls belong? Now, this is up to you. So I do want you to comment. Let me know. And we are going to make a sorting video for the Lego Friends girls when they come to Hogwarts. So in the meantime, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out some of my other videos. If you haven't seen the Great Hall build, make sure you check it out because it is awesome. And I will be back with a new video very soon. See you soon.